Hello everyone, it's Nikki, and today I'm here for historical mysteries in July that are coming out. This is probably going to come out in the middle of July. Because I didn't film it earlier, but that's just the way life works. So yeah, let's start. The first one is opium, excuse me, and absinthe. This is set in New York City, 1899. And Tilly Pembroke's sister is dead, drained of blood with 2 puncture wounds. Dracula's just been published, and Tilly goes, obviously it's a vampire. Because, I mean, why not? Really? And Tilly is a reader and a researcher. So go Tilly. And in 1899, that probably gets a lot. She probably gets a lot of shit for that. And she won't rest until she unravels the mystery of her sister's death. Oh, and then the opium comes in because she's taking laudanum. I think, is opium in laudanum? I think it might be. And absinthe is probably in there too. So, yeah, I can see how people will probably not believe her because she's fucking high, and everybody's like, vampires? Really? So, yeah, that sounds super interesting, actually. And it'll become increasingly difficult for a girl who relies on facts and figures to know what's real or whether she can trust those closest to her. That sounds amazing. So yeah, also, these are all from Amazon. I still haven't found a place better than Amazon. And I'm only doing actual that come out, because a lot of them, it's just the audiobook that's coming out in July. No, I'm only doing paperbacks and hardbacks. But yeah, this book sounds amazing. Can't wait to read that. And this time I'm also doing, because I think I did a couple sequels last time. Oh, okay. So that comes out on July 1st. I did not say. This next one comes out July 2nd. It is A Choir of Crows, an Owen Archer mystery. And let us see this on Goodreads. I should have done this before, but you know what? We're going to go by the seat of our pants for this video because I'm still not sure what I'm really doing. Okay, it's the 12th Owen Archer book, and this seems like right up my alley. 1374, 2 bodies are discovered in the grounds of York Minster. I don't know where that is. Shortly before the enthronement of the new Archbishop, Alexander Neville. A flaxen-haired youth with the voice of an angel is found locked in a chapter house, and 2 bodies, and so Owen Archer, captain of the city bailiffs, is summoned to investigate. So this sounds right up my alley. Tensions deepen. Oh, there's a 3rd body. I love it in a mystery when you have a murder, right? And then, halfway through, there's another murder, and you're like, what? How were they connected? I am literally awful at mysteries. I cannot solve one for anything. Agatha Christie, I don't know how she fucking did it. I don't know how mystery authors do it. My brain doesn't work that way, so I'm always surprised. Oh, it's great. Oh, and I own the first Owen Archer book, which I just found out, so good for me. There's 11 more to get to. And then the next book, coming out on July 7th, is An Exquisite Corpse, an art of murder mysteries. This is one of 3, and it looks like they all have release dates, but we're just doing the first one. This is about art. A Cuban painter is dead in Greenwich Village. It does not say the time period, but that's fine. And it's up to, they're police officers, Juanita Diaz and Brian Fitzgerald. Police officers aren't really popular right now, but whatever. So suspicion soon falls on a tight-knit circle of surrealist refugees who fled Nazi, like the 60s or 70s, you think? It's not really my time period, but it still sounds interesting. Refugees who fled Nazi-occupied Europe during World War II, and then they go from Chinatown to Spanish Harlem gangland to find the truth. Did one of the artist's bizarre parlor games turn deadly, or is there something more sinister afoot? Let's find surrealist, because why not? Dada. So it says years active, 20s to the 50s. Well, there's some 19s, so probably like 50s, 60s. That's what the cover looks like anyway. Sorry, had to have a drink. Yeah, that's not usually my time period, and I don't usually read police officers, but that could still be good. Okay, next, also on July 7th, is A Study in Murder, a Victorian book club mystery. Let's check that out. This is the first in a series. Fantastic. And again, this is like Bath, England, 1890, hitting all the good stuff. Ooh. Also good. Mystery author Lady Amy Lovell receives an anonymous letter containing shocking news. Okay, so we have England, 1890, a female author. And she's a part of this mystery book club. And then she finds somebody dead. And the police think she's the killer. Yeah. And so it's up to Lady Amy and her friend, Lord William Wethington, to find out who killed the guy, because it was not Amy. So yeah, this is also right up my alley. It's a new series. This sounds amazing. We are adding that. I should add the other one as well, but I will get to that. Oh, I love it. Shocking letter, and then a murder. Love it, love it, love it. These all sound so good so far. Also on July 7th, we have the Lady Anne and the Menacing Mystic, which is book 4 of the Lady Anne Addison Mysteries. Whew, that one was a tongue twister. And let us look up the first one, if we can. Well, anyway, again, they're in Bath, and the first one was called Lady Anne and the Howl in the Dark. Oh, it's set in Georgian They're Georgian historical mysteries. So, which Georgian though? Is it the later Georgian after? I don't know my time periods in England. But they're in Bath. Looks like Lady Anne is gonna get married. And she learns of an accurate mystic working in town, so probably after Queen Victoria. Don't at me. Whose uncanny predictions have stunned the gullible and skeptical. Certainly there's harmless rationale, but Anne's tolerance turns to defiance when the seer's dark pronouncements begin to having a decidedly harmful effect on her friends, and a troubled local vicar takes his own life. So Anne is convinced that this woman is doing this. Oh, there's somebody attaching themselves to wealthy widowers. She navigates the swirling rumors of Bath society to confirm her suspicions. She discovers treacherous conspirators are plotting to make her own future very dark and very short-lived. Oh no! Yeah, this again, right up my alley. I'm gonna have to check out the first book in the series. I'm gonna take another drink. So yeah, all of these sound really great. Historical mysteries are really killing it for July so far. Okay, again, July 7th. We have an Inspector Magritte. Now, I know this one. It's on Amazon. The TV series, there's an old one. And then there's a new one with Blackadder, Rowan Atkinson. I haven't seen either, but they look interesting. So let's see how many Magrittes there are. Oh, there are a lot of Magrittes. Oh. There are 74. And I said Magritte and the Loner. This is book 73. I believe it, because it says book 74 was published in 1971. So this must be the translation. And Magritte is a inspector in Paris in the 50s and 60s, I want to say. And he is called because an elderly man who is a socially isolated vagrant is found dead in a condemned building. Did I say Paris or just France? Because he's in Paris. And he begins to pick apart the few clues. And he's not. The man is obviously... I say obviously because if you read a mystery at some point, like, somebody is not what they seem. He's helped by a community of senior citizens from Montmartre. Oh my god, that's... I love senior citizens, but like obviously Miss Marple is the senior citizen, but if you ever watch a TV show and a senior citizen gang shows up, I love it. So yeah, I'm not gonna start with number 73. I might start with number 1, see if I can get it off of thrift books or something. But yeah, so that one sounds good too. On July 14th we have Heirloom, a Kate Tyler novel. So let's see that. I'm not like prepared at all, but whatever. Looks like this is the only one. So, but that might mean there might be more. Yeah, it's a debut by Nancy Wakely and Kate Tyler. Ooh, it's Eden Springs, North Carolina. Her twin sister sadly has died, and she wants to sell the estate that she has gotten. I'm not sure what time period this is supposed to be, but it is under the historical mystery section when that's what I narrowed it down to, so we'll just go with it. It's not even really on Goodreads, which is a shame, because Goodreads can always give you a little more information. Anyway, Kate finds a family heirloom, and then, you know, she stays because the book would be rather short. But then secrets surface. And she begins to meet people and make connections and fall in love, maybe. And then a powerful and vengeful man who was denied ownership of her house is determined to finally own it. She has to decide what this place means to her and whether she can battle for it. So that sounds interesting. I don't know. It's not really like my thing. It says it's under mystery. There's not a lot. Obviously there's mystery because there's secrets begin to surface. But we'll have to see. But still, so far, we're like, I just have all these tabs open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 7 books in. July looks great for historical mysteries. Also on July 14th, we have The Night of Shooting Stars by Ben Pastor. It is a Martin Bora book. So let's look that up. We've got nothing. Okay. These are not originally written in English. The Ben Pastor is a college teacher in Rome. She's Italian. So maybe they are in English. I'm not sure. What's this one called? The Night of Shooting Stars. Oh, fuck. Goodreads had a good little tab right there. These are not in English. I don't know which one this is. Oh, it must be book 12, because it says it will be published. So, let's see what it's about. He is a captain. Captain Martin Bora is an anti-Nazi Anglo-German officer in World War II Europe. So this is in the 1940s. Not really. There's a lot of World War II books. I don't always like to read them. Which is weird because one of my favorite TV shows is Foyle's War, which is essentially set during the whole World War II. But I'm not sure about the books. Like, I have to be in the right mood for a World War II book, you know? So anyway, Martin Bora is ordered to investigate the murder of a clairvoyant. And what did it? He's an anti-Nazi Anglo-German. Okay. Wrong one. So I'm not sure where he is. He might be in Germany. And he's like undercover. Oh, okay. So this clairvoyant, who is dead, has mystified Germany with its astounding prophecies, and then Bora's inquiries resurrect memories of the excessive and brilliant world of jazz-age cabarets, which Hitler closed down. Like, okay. I don't know what jazz was gonna do. Oh, because it was made by black people and Hitler was a fucking asshole. Around them, summer heat, Allied bombing, Berlin teems with refugees. And then Bora realizes that there is more at stake than murder in a paranoid city where everyone suspects everyone. Persistent rumors whisper about a conspiracy aimed at the very heart of the Nazi hierarchy. I wonder if that's the... There was that movie with Tom Cruise where, like, Nazis tried to kill Hitler. Remember? I wonder if that's it. And then he meets Klaus von Stauffenberg. Oh yeah, who is Operation Valkyrie, the man who wanted to kill Hitler, right? Is that what that was? Yes. So yeah, that's what that's about. The 20 July plot and the traumatic implications as never told before. So that's interesting. You know, I think I'd probably have to start at the beginning. But yeah, that seems cool. I'm sure... I don't know if I'm into it, but I know somebody will be. Next we have The Obsessions of Lord Geoffrey Cavanaugh. This is book 4 in the Cavanaugh's series. And this is coming out July 16th. This looks like a little like when you see the cover, which I'll put up right here, I'll be like, oh, that's more romancy than mystery, but whatever. So Lord Randall Cavanaugh marries Felicia Throgmorton. I know that name. Sure she's not related to the god, the undying gods, or whatever they are. And then this is just the first book, and then there are hurdles, and they are forced to act together. So by book 4, they're married, and this looks like maybe Godfrey is related to the other Cavanaugh. This doesn't look like the same guy. Oh yeah, Lord Randolph, Kit, Lady Eustacia, and Lord Geoffrey. Okay, so they're about the Cavanaugh family. A scion of a noble house brought low by a storm. And lady who nurses him back to health strive to unravel a web of deception that threatens her family and forces them to fight for what they hold most dear, family, each other, and love. So, this is... The Kindle is under mystery, thriller, suspense, but the paperback is under genre fiction. So, it's a romance historical mystery, which is always fun. I do enjoy a bit of romance, but only in, like, historical mysteries. Like, if it's just a pure romance book, I'm not into it. It's one weird that way. So, Lord Geoffrey Cavanaugh is like, marriage, whatever. And then he meets Eleanor Hinckley? I have no idea how to say that. Who is a spinster, because she's probably, like, 24 and unmarried. And there's obviously a storm, and he stays there. And he gets along with everybody. And then he recovers sufficiently. Oh, he's there to assess a painting. Okay. And he discovers that nothing is as it seems. And someone has plans. Someone other than the Hinkleys. But who is pulling the strings is a mystery that Godfrey and Ellie find near impossible to solve, until the villain, panicked by their inquiry, strikes directly at them and forces them both to acknowledge what has grown to be the most important thing in their lives. So, this is a classic historical romance set in North Yorkshire, fourth and final novel in the Cavanaugh's full-length historical romance mystery of 90,000 words. I don't know why that took me. But that seems interesting too. It seems like perhaps it's more romance. It does say historical romance, but there is a mystery. So, yeah, I dig that. Next, we have The Prince's Man, July 19th, the Gareth and Gwen Medieval Mysteries, which is the 13th. And on the cover, it looks Romany. Medieval Wales. Gotcha. So, whatever that means. The medieval period is a very long period. So, a prince is dead, and two kings agree their children should marry, and then the wedding date arrives, but the kingdoms aren't really improving, and then someone dies. And the queen begs Gareth and Gwen to head off another round of murder and wedding mayhem in medieval Wales. So, let us find out about them. So Gwen, it doesn't actually say. Let's see if this is on Goodreads, because I am intrigued. Okay, 1143 in Wales. A groom is murdered on the way to, this is the first book, on the way to his wedding. Bride's brother tasks his two best detectives, Gareth, a knight, and Gwen, the daughter of a court bard. Okay. Okay, I like it. I like that a lot. I do like that women, so she's not a nun, because a lot of the women in historical mysteries who solve mysteries are somehow related to the church, so they have more freedom. But Magdalena in another book I talked about had a little more freedom because she had money. And looks like she gets some because the king says she can. So yeah, that sounds really interesting as well. Let's see if the cover at Goodreads is different. Let's see if it's different for... Oh, it's not even on Goodreads. Ha ha ha. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, that sounds interesting. I'll have to start at number 1. Next, we have July 21st, I Saw Him Die, a novel. Oh, I love this. I'm loving it already. Best-selling novelist and part-time undercover sleuth Agatha Christie is looking forward to a bit of well-deserved rest and relaxation when her longtime friend pleads with her to help him protect a retired British agent turned hotelier who has been receiving threatening letters. So they go to Isle of Skye in Scotland. They insert themselves among hotel's illustrious guests. Agatha thinks it's unlikely that any of these guests are evil, much less murder. But the next morning, sound of a gunshot rings out, and the hotel owner is found dead in the arms of his nephew. Is it a hunting accident, or is it more? That sounds great. I love it, because it's like an Agatha Christie novel, but it's with Agatha Christie solving the crime. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Killing it for July. Also on July 21st, we have, oh, interesting. It's Red Mistress, and it takes place in World War I. So 1914 to the 1920s. And it is about in the wake of the Russian Revolution, a determined young woman breaks with her past to become a spy in 1920s Paris, where shadowy intrigues and a dangerous romance put her loyalty to the test. So this is about Nadia Shokina, daughter of Russian aristocrats. That doesn't go well for her. So she marries a zealous Bolshevik. And then she goes undercover in 1920s Paris. And she is beset by conflicting loyalties and tested by a forbidden love. She becomes embroiled in a conspiracy that ends with a shocking murder. Now this I'm into. I don't see enough about the 1920s. I think there is Franny Fisher. Might be the only one. No, there are a couple more. But I can't think of any off the top of my head. And was that also on July 21st, we have the Daughters of Fox Coat Manor. This might be a one-off. Yes, it is. And this is in the 1970s in England. And Harrington family's London home goes up in flames. Not good. So Mrs. Harrington and her two children and their live-in nanny go to Foxcote Manor. But the creeping forest, where lost things have a way of coming back, is not as restful as it seems. Oof, that's creepy already. And then 13-year-old Hera discovers a baby girl beyond their garden gate and then a visitor detonates the family's tenuous happiness. All too soon, a body lies dead in the woods. And then 40 years later, okay, so it's got like two, I like that. London-based Sylvie is an expert at looking the other way. She stayed married to an unfaithful husband. She's leaving him. Woof. And she's buried her own origin story. Mayhap she's the little baby. And never imagining her teenage daughter would have a shocking reason to dig up the past and to ask Sylvie to finally face the secrets that lead her back to Foxcote Manor. So there are two children. So she's either the not 13-year-old or the baby. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, that sounds pretty cool. The forest, that creeping forest, I dig that. I dig that a lot. Give me another drink. I've already been going for 32 minutes, so I don't normally talk this long. Next, on July 21st as well, we have a Summoning of Souls. This is the third book in a Spectral City novel series. Top Secret Ghost Precinct. Love it. This is also under genre fiction, but it does come up under the historical mysteries. They're in New York City. Eve Whitby, the young medium who leads an all-female team of spiritualists in the Ghost Precinct. And now Eve faces an enemy determined to exorcise the city's ghostly population. And the bad guy is going to use Eve's abilities into his own psychic weapon. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's interesting. It says genre fiction, but it came up under the thing. I don't usually read historical fiction with a ghosty thing. So that sounds cool. Next we have, what's this one here? Whoops, oh, okay, we don't want to do that one. So next we have Scorpions in Corinth, which comes out July 28th. This is book 2 of the Philocles series. The first one was Shadow of Athens. And so popular playwright Philocles and his actors are hired to take his latest play to Corinth. This is after the Persian War, so sometime in the BCE era, I believe. But on arrival, their guide drops dead of poison. And Philocles is convinced someone is out to sabotage the play, and he must uncover the murderer. And of course, the ruling oligarchs in Corinth are more interested in commerce than justice. The city's religious brotherhoods pursuing their own vicious rivalries. Asking the wrong questions could get an outsider like Philocles killed. That sounds interesting. That's like right up my alley. I don't see. Let's see. I have in ancient Egypt. I've seen in ancient Roman. I think this might be my first ancient Greek. Definitely have to check that one out. On July 28th, we have Indigo, a Valentino mystery, which is book 6 in the Valentino mystery series. And Valentino is a mild-mannered UCLA film archivist. So, in this one, he is a film detective. And he is summoned to the estate of Ignacio Bozel to collect a prize donation to the university's movie library, Bleak Street. Thought lost for more than 60 years. It was never released. And its star, a gifted, charismatic actor with alleged ties to the mob, disappeared. Studio bosses elected to shelve the film rather than risk box office failure. The PR department is excited, but only if Valentino can find a way to sell it to mainstream media by way of sensational discovery to coincide with its release. We want to know what happened to Oliver. That's the actor. A simple question for a few hundred yards of celluloid opens a portal into a place darker than night. Now this is cool because it's probably not technically historical, but it's about it's like a mystery about historical mysteries. Love it. And I do like that seedy underbelly that like early Hollywood definitely had. Also on July 28th is The Fate of a Flapper, The Speakeasy Murders, book 2. So this is in 1929. Oh, Chicago. The 20s and 30s Chicago was dangerous. Gina Ricci is her name. And she's working at a moonshine parlor. And Gina notices 2 women drinking, and there's very drunk and very tense. But then her cousin Nancy, who's a police officer, calls, and she's found a body. It's one of the women. She's also a photographer, it seems like, for the police. And Gina wants to know if the third door, her bar, could have served bad liquor or murder. And since this is 1929 Chicago, anything is possible. So that sounds very interesting. Oh, there's a lot coming out on July 28th. We have A Royal Affair, a Sparks and Bainbridge Mystery, Book 2. London, 1946. And they are Miss Iris Sparks and Mrs. Gwendolyn Bainbridge, and they run the Right Sort Marriage Bureau. So they probably help women get married to the right men. And it looks like or they, okay, so the cousin, they're asked by a cousin of the queen, or no, this woman works for the queen in some capacity, and she's in need of discreet investigation. Okay, so Princess Elizabeth, future queen, has developed feelings for a dashing Greek prince, future husband, but a blackmail note has arrived. So Gwen and Iris go around to find out what skeletons might lurk in the prince's closet. So they have to be discreet about it and find out what's happening before the engagement to the future Queen of England is announced. That sounds really cool, especially since they're both still alive. Okay, next we have July 28th, The Grove of Caesars, a Flavia Albia novel. I believe I've heard of this. This is book 8. And in the sacred grove of Julius Caesar, something deadly stirs in the undergrowth. A serial killer who has haunted the gardens for years has claimed another victim. I believe Flavia Albia is a spin-off, because she's at her adoptive father, renowned private informer Marcus Didius Falco. Yes. So that's, Marcus has his own series, and then Flavia learned from him, and she got her own series. But you can probably pick up book 1 of Flavia, and they'll explain everything. Excuse me. So there's a murder, and the public gardens named after Caesar's is a place nice girls are warned away from, but when a series of bodies are uncovered, it seems a serial killer has been haunting the grove for years. The case is assigned to Julius Carius, a cohort of the Vigiles, which might be like the police, but Flavia is convinced nothing will come out of his efforts. So she decides to work with the guy and bring serial killers to justice. Again, right up my alley. And lastly, July 28th, again, we have A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Murder, a Countess of Harley mystery, book 3. So, Frances is the widowed Countess of Harley, and her sister's getting married, and they get a family estate in Hampshire. But the bucolic setting harbors a menace, and it's not simply the arrival of Frances' socially ambitious mother. Oh fuck, gotta love that. Above and below stairs, mysterious accidents befall guests and staff alike. Before long, Frances suspects these accidents are deliberate and fears that the intended is her sister's fiancé. Her mother is unimpressed with her sister's groom-to-be and would much prefer that Lily, her sister, find an aristocratic husband. She wants to keep the couple safe from villains and meddling mamas. So Frances also seems to have a love interest, George, and together they search for the culprit among the assembled family, friends, and servants as more victims fall prey to the mayhem. Mishaps become full-blooded murder, and it seems that no one is safe. Ooh, I also like that. That's great. So, yeah, that's all the books, but damn, they all sound amazing. This is almost an hour long. I have waffled on, and I still have to add all the books. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, if you did, because I know this is very long. I'm so sorry. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy these mysteries, historical mysteries, as much as I do, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.